Once upon a time, in a lush green forest, there lived a little bird named Tweety. Tweety was a beautiful yellow bird with bright blue eyes and a small pink beak. She loved to sing and fly high up in the sky. She had many friends in the forest, but her closest friend was a squirrel named Nutty. They spent most of their time playing together and exploring the forest. One day, the sky turned dark, and the wind began to blow. Tweety knew that a storm was coming. She quickly flew to her nest, which was nestled in the branches of a tall tree. She knew that she needed to prepare for the storm, so she collected twigs, leaves, and small branches to reinforce her nest. Nutty came to help, and they worked together to make Tweety's nest strong and sturdy. As the storm approached, Tweety and Nutty huddled together in the nest, listening to the raindrops falling on the leaves. The wind was howling, and the trees were swaying back and forth. Tweety was scared, but she was also grateful to have Nutty by her side. She knew that they would get through the storm together. The rain continued to pour down, and the thunder roared. Suddenly, there was a loud crack, and a bolt of lightning struck a tree near Tweety's nest. Tweety and Nutty were both startled, and Tweety's nest shook. Tweety feared that her nest would not be able to withstand the storm. However, Tweety was a smart bird, and she quickly came up with a plan. She remembered that there was a small cave nearby, and she thought it would be the perfect place to hide from the storm. Tweety and Nutty quickly flew out of the nest and made their way to the cave. The rain was pouring down hard, and they were drenched, but they knew that they needed to keep moving. When they finally reached the cave, they were relieved to find that it was dry and cozy. They huddled together in the back of the cave and watched as the storm raged on outside. Tweety sang a soft melody to calm Nutty's nerves, and Nutty snuggled close to Tweety for comfort. Hours passed, and the storm eventually passed. Tweety and Nutty cautiously made their way out of the cave and back to Tweety's nest. To their surprise, they found that the nest was still intact, despite the storm's ferocity. The branches and twigs that Tweety and Nutty had used to reinforce the nest had done their job well. Tweety and Nutty were happy to be back in the nest, safe and sound. They spent the rest of the day preening their feathers and drying off from the rain. As the sun began to set, they looked out at the beautiful rainbow that had formed in the sky. It was a reminder that even in the midst of a storm, there was still beauty and hope to be found. From that day on, Tweety and Nutty knew that they could overcome any challenge as long as they worked together. They continued to explore the forest and play together, but they were always careful to prepare for any storms that might come their way. Tweety was grateful for her friendship with Nutty, and she knew that she would always have a friend to turn to in times of need. And so, the little bird who survived the rain became known as the bravest bird in the forest. Other animals looked up to her and admired her courage. But to Tweety, it was not just her bravery that made her special. It was her friendship with Nutty, and the knowledge that she was never alone, that made her truly strong.